Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Pull List Examiner. This is my video where I take a look at the top 3 comic books I am looking forward to reading on New Comic Book Day. And New Comic Book Day this week is going to be December 14th, 2022. We only got a few weeks left in the year. Maybe you got some Christmas presents lined up in the comic book world, but this week's pull list is very small. It's kind of interesting when you compare it to what happened last week. You can tell that there was a huge push from all the companies last week to put a lot of content out. This week the list seems to be much smaller. So check out my pull list in the description of this video below, and let's take a look at the top 3 choices from my list for this week. Starting off this week with number 3 is going to be Spawn Batman. And I actually have here Spawn Batman. It already came out, I don't know, 20 years ago. No, just joking. This is the original Spawn Batman comic book from when I was a young child. And Frank Miller, Todd McFarlane teamed up and wrote this. It was a cool crossover event back then, and now again we have Spawn Batman. It's like history repeating itself, but it does look like a really cool comic to pick up if you're a fan of Spawn, if you're a fan of Batman, which I am both. Makes perfect sense. So I will be picking up this one shot, and I am looking forward to reading it. And at number 2 this week, we've got Savage Avengers issue number 8. This series has been totally different from the last Savage Avengers series, and the change of pace and the style, I've been totally on board with it. It's been a great read, and essentially you have Deathlock, who has done some time traveling to try and eliminate some of the players that are part of the Savage Avengers, and they all get flung forward into the future, and they are now in the 2099 universe of Marvel. Last couple issues, I think the Punisher 2099 showed up, and based on the cover for this issue, it looks like we might get to see Doom 2099 show up. But it's just really been a fun read. The Savage Avengers in general is just a really fun read where they seem to do some pretty crazy stuff with these characters that are all kind of thrown in together. And this time around there's characters like Conan again, Conan the Barbarian, and then there's characters like Cloak and Dagger. So it's just an interesting mix and fun to read, so check it out. And finishing off the top 3 list this week at number 1 is going to be A Calculated Man, issue number 4. This is from Aftershock Comics. This story is about a man who is high functioning with math and becomes so good that he ends up joining the mafia, and they use him to run numbers, run money, do some illegal things most likely with his excellent skill set that he has. And at some point in time he decides he no longer wants to be with the mafia, and he goes into witness protection. And you really got to read the comic to get a full understanding of what this guy's personality is like, but it's pretty funny, and at the same time it's pretty amazing what they do with this guy as he tries to survive as the mafia starts to look for him. And it's a fun read, and really this issue number 4 has been delayed for a while. I can't remember the last time issue 3 came out, but that's why I'm looking forward to reading it. It's a good story that I hope continues. So if you want, check out Calculated Man issue number 4. Well, thanks for watching this week's episode of the Pull List Examiner. As always, you can check out my full pull list in the description of the video below, and remember to like and subscribe, and remember to read them, bag them, and board them. And we'll see you next time on the Pull List Examiner. Have a good week.